Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. This is Chili Games, and today I'm bringing you a video in the Scharnhorst B in Arena, and this is quite possibly the best game I have ever played in Arena. We actually don't get any heal buffs this game, so we have to manage our health, and those 5 heals with the hide build are going to come in quite handy. Just a little bit for you guys. I am going to Destin with my family in Florida for vacation. I think I will be back. I'll either be back on Thursday or maybe Saturday. It's kind of still up in the air. We're not too sure. But yeah, so I will be gone. I'm not too sure when this video will go live, but I am recording it as of today on Saturday. So maybe this might be here on Sunday. Anyway, Scharnhorst. This is actually the hide, so we're using accuracy. Our inspirations are actually full secondary. It's the Haruna commander and also the is it Celiax, I believe. I can't remember. It's hide, isn't it? Or not hide, Hipper. So yeah, full secondary build. The only non-secondary part that we're running is we aren't running the first module. We're running the first module for main battery accuracy. So the guns are actually still quite consistent. So we get to keep some guns hitting the target, and we actually charging it. The Benham makes a terrible play here. I'm not too sure what he was trying to accomplish there, but we actually pick up the first blood, close quarters on him. Our Helena is also pretty way out of dodge here, and luckily the Southern Dragon is showing broadside, and while the Scharnhorst guns can be a little iffy against broadside targets like that at that range, Scharnhorst guns are actually very good. The only problem that you will see is Scharnhorst guns, especially at longer ranges, the penetration falls off so hard. So shooting HE past about 15 kilometers or so, even 14, is honestly not a bad idea. I actually tend to run HE Scharnhorst for the most part, just because the dispersion can be wonky and then also the penetration. So I think, in my opinion, Scharnhorst is all about just whittling down your targets, because once you can get into these engagements like the North Carolina, there's nothing this guy can do. Even if he hits me, he can't kill me. He has no kill button for me, and I have torpedoes, and he gets chunked pretty hard by someone over there. I believe it was that Poltava. Now, the Poltava, you're going to see this come into play. Poltava is going to be sailing that exact same course for most of the time. So you'll get to see kind of the AP performance that the Scharnhorst can pump out here, which is not that great. Any other battleship, I feel like, at this range, aside from maybe the British, the Poltava is very weak on the sides. That probably would have been a significant hit, but he angled a tidbit, so good on him, I guess. Closing the distance, our friendly Kid and the Helena and the Kid were actually in a division, so when the Kid went to the right, it was getting those pickups. I was like, you know what, they're probably saying something, that's fine. So we ended up getting 2 reload buffs and a, what is that, the rudder shift buff. So not too bad. I was kind of upset that there was no heals, because the heal buffs is where this just gets really hilarious. And if you know me, I do not like the heal buffs in ranked, because it doesn't feel like ranked and it feels very gimmicky. But in arena, when your only goal is to literally throw just as much crap at the wall and hope it sticks, heal buffs are really quite hilarious. And it actually helps you grind credits and experience, even if you don't win. And experience is what we are going to get this game. It is, we already have 3 kills, 4 citadels, 70,000 damage, devastating strike, close quarters export, and first blood. So we're already racking up a handful of medals, and this game has really just started. By this time, I've already pretty much, unless someone comes in here and interrupts the duel with this Poltava, the Poltava is making a big mistake, because once the Scharnhorst can get within at least 10 kilometers, the guns start hitting harder, like you saw there. Was kind of expecting some citadels, launched some very preemptive torps against the Akazuki that was spotted in the cap circle. Usually the Akazukis like to follow and just kind of run towards the battleship. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be using these torpedoes for the next minute or so. Why not just throw them out there? So very wishful thinking. But the Poltava is flat broadside at 6 kilometers. And this is kind of where I was really hoping to get some significant damage on this guy. But again, the Scharnhorst guns can struggle pretty hard. Was a little bit worried over there because, as you saw, that plane is still up, and I didn't realize that it was still the one of the enemy cruisers, or the plane was still up. So we're kind of chilling. The biggest thing that I want to do in this game, or in this engagement right here, is to mitigate the damage that he can do back to me as we pick up the high caliber there, because this guy is basically dead. You can see he's about to beach here. And if you're beached and you have no way of actually defending yourself against a Scharnhorst just rushing you and torping you, you're pretty much dead. But he actually switches to HE, which is the very smart choice, and gets a double fire on me. And it's quite unfortunate. But by this time, I'm getting a little bit worried about that DD, and there he is right there. So immediately, as soon as I spot him, I have to make a decision. So I full stop. I'm giving broadside to the Poltava, but I think since he was shooting HE the last time, I would rather dodge a full set of torpedoes than take an HE salvo from the Poltava, and it actually works out for us. And since our guns, and there's a torpedo, so we got pretty lucky with this. With our guns turned this way, I'm kind of forgetting about the Poltava. We have torpedoes going out there. We have our secondaries. We actually hit 2 torpedoes, which is nice. But the Fiji is rushing in to actually kill our kid. And if you are the kid in this situation, the biggest thing you need to do now is you have the spotting advantage. You know where he is. You know where the Fiji is. You know how far away he is. You have to make your decision to leave the cap circle, because a kid is not going to fare well against a Fiji rushing. It's just not going to do very well. And again, you see the Poltava's HE really doing some damage, and this is what I was kind of hoping for, or hoping not to happen, because he took a fair amount of health from us, so that could have gone, it could have gone better, not going to lie, as we're using our 3rd heal here, picking up 4 kills. And as you see, the pink team is quite strong, and if the kid misses these torpedoes, he really doesn't have the materials or the damage output to actually kill this Fiji, unless the Fiji goes broadside. But Fiji's DPM bow in against the DD with the AP is already really, really good. So the Fiji is actually just going to stay bow in here, and he's going to easily take care of the kid who's just rushing them down now. Still have to worry about the Akazuki that was spotted. I'm kind of just in a spot where I have no eyes, so you're going to see me kind of change my course a lot of times. We actually pick up the Kraken on the Fiji, which is nice. Immediately turning towards where the Akatsuki was, because if he launched torpedoes, he would have launched them from that angle. So this is effectively turning my bow and giving the smallest target to any possible torpedoes that he launched. And but that's the game you have to play with torpedoes here. I turn back because I'm not too sure if he launched his torpedoes, and I should probably be doing a little bit better with my speed here. That was actually a pretty big risk turning back the way that the torpedoes were coming from, but I thought it had been enough time. I felt like if I would have been torpedoed, I would have seen them already. And yeah, we're cruising in here for the last final battle. North Carolina is full health, which is not fun. I had the HE loaded, because there's 3 targets I could shoot here. 2 DDs or North Carolina, and anything past, again, 12 kilometers with the AP, especially against the North Carolina, is going to be very, very iffy. And as you can see, he's already turning in here. But before that Akatsuki died, he actually got to get his torpedoes off, and that is actually what is going to help us pretty much win the game. I'm not sure if those were the Akatsukis or if it was his teammates. I'm not too sure, but North Carolina just lost literally half of his health, and I would not be here in this game making this video probably if that didn't happen. So he's flooding because we'd had a fire on him before. And again, launching preemptive torps because I'm assuming that I'm going to die here very fast, because if you know, the Scharnhorst only has the, I believe it's 26 millimeter bow. It might be 25. I'm pretty sure it's 26. But yeah, North Carolina can overmatch you. By the way, fortunately, he misses on the back turret, and we are on 1,800 health, and we are scurrying to get behind this island. If you realize he did use his damage control there, we pop our secondary consumable because I want as many secondaries to actually shoot this guy, and we pick up a fire, which is so good. He misses. He didn't have the reload for that follow-up shot. So we're sitting here. I need to play a little bit patient for the next couple seconds because the heal is going to come up, and I think there's a chance to actually win this. Scarily enough, I was expecting torpedoes here, and we actually get to torpedo the North Carolina for some style points, picking up our 6th kill. And it is now a 1v1, and the Strat has all the advantages, and something that's going to come up here is an absolute skill moment. It was meant to happen. I totally planned this. I wasn't able to turn my ship fast enough to engage him, and he went around the corner, launched torpedoes. This was a brilliant play by the DD. Not so much him staying right here right now because I get to reset him, which is huge for me. But if you saw, one of his torpedoes that was going to hit me actually hit the rocks there, and there are quite a few places in this game. There is another place like that on the other side of A, or if this cap circle we're talking about. When you're launching torpedoes close to islands, you have to, just like your ship beaching on islands or places in there, there's places where the torpedoes will connect with the island and actually not hit. So, and we actually do another skill dodge. Look at that battleship gap there. That was his torpedoes. And since we know that he just used his smoke screen, we know that he's not running the reload boost, which is nice for us because that was both sets of his torpedoes. However, he did stagger his torpedo launch, so we have to assume that he has another set of torpedoes very soon. We're down to 7,000 HP, no heals, no secondaries consumables. It is coming down to the wire. We're just going for it. I turn in hard here because I assumed he was going to have torpedoes on the way. So as soon as I see them, I'm like, you know what, I have to get this shot off. And we get all the shells to connect for the finishing off with the Dreadnought Solo Warrior in the Scharnhorst B. I believe it was 181,000 damage and over 1 million credits, 21,000 XP, 3,000 global XP. I don't even know what to say. No heal buffs, 5,000 HP, 7 kills. This was an absolute crazy game, and I would be lying to say if I wasn't shaking. Dreadnought, Confederate Kraken, Close Quarters, First Blood, Solo Warrior, Devastating Strike, and High Caliber. Whew! Anyways, guys, y'all have a good one, and I will see y'all in the next one, and I will send y'all some pictures from the trip. Y'all have a good one. Peace.